Actually, he's my student with the same silsila, mashallah. With he is big alim, mashallah. I gave him ijaza. I am honored to, I'm proud actually to, I have, barakallah, like Imam Didmar student, mashallah. We go always together to make fundraising for our community. Mashallah, he had big hand and supporting for our community when we built the MCC. We collect a lot of money for build the Muslim Community Center building. And also, before 1 month, before 6 months, we went to Houston and made fundraising for us for this. MashaAllah, Imam Didmar, he is speaking like he speak about his masjid. And this is his masjid, inshallah. And same thing, alhamdulillah, before 1 month we were together to Wisconsin and make a special fundraising for us. MashaAllah, he collected a lot of money, more than $30,000. MashaAllah, by himself. I gave khutbah another masjid and Imam Didmar also gave lecture for our community and for our masjid. What we'll say to Imam Didmar will not give him his right. Believe me. I don't know what, but I will say, Jazakallahu khairan, and may Allah bless you. May Allah build a beautiful house in the Jannah, and barakallah, and welcome with us in this beautiful night.
Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, wa sallallahu wa sallam wa baraka ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. اللهم تقبل منا صلاتنا وصيامنا يا ربنا واجعلنا من عبادك المخلصين واجعلنا من الذين لا خوف عليهم ولا هم يحزنون واحشرنا مع الصالحين مع النبيين ومع نبينا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم في جنة الفردوس يا رب العالمين. I am deeply humbled each time I come to the masjid. I meet and I see many of you, in particularly our Sheikh Wathik, who is very humble, and alhamdulillah, we always benefit from him, and I am so humbled to be a part of helping with whatever I can. And this is nothing actually extra. This is, if Allah gives us an opportunity to do khairat, this is an honor for us. It's an honor for us to be a part of, doing the good things. So I'm always appreciative, Sheikh, for your blessings and your du'as and your company always. Allah ikramak. Sheikh Wathik asked me today to talk to you a few words, and I don't want to keep that long. I'm known to keep long speeches, so I told him, tell me 5 minutes so I can go 10 minutes. But alhamdulillah, I have the clock right there in front of me. I'm going to try to do my best, inshallah. Mexico, we're passing through, so we said, let's visit Sheikh Wathik and the community tonight and see how's everybody doing. And also just be with you sharing a night of Ramadan, sharing an iftar together here and taking your imam with us and going to Mexico. And maybe a few members from the community as well. So this way, the brothers and sisters, they can feel that sense of belonging. The sense of belonging. Here, alhamdulillah, Allah has put so many Muslims from different cultures, different countries together to live in a society like this one. So the feeling of being a part of a community, for some people, yes, it may be missing, but majority of Muslims, if they want to get to community connected and be with people around Muslims, they do have so many, opportunities in America, right? Because there are millions of Muslims who migrated here. But that's not the case in Mexico. So in Mexico, it's very different. There are few mosques, probably I would say less than 15 mosques in the entire country. This is before COVID, the information that I have. Now, if there is a little bit more, maybe, but it used to be around 15 mosques in the entire country. There are states that don't even have mosques. There are states that they don't have mosques. And we're talking a population close to 65 million, close to probably, and these are official. And sometimes in some places, villages and states that I've seen, I've been to Chiapas, for example, all the way south, people don't even know how to read and write, and they don't even care about registering themselves. And so I'm assuming there's probably over 70 million people. So 70 million people, and you have Muslims here and there, and you have no converts in the entire country, 15 mosques. We have only here in Arizona, we have close to 30 mosques. So you can imagine the need over there. And alhamdulillah, I don't want to go into the story why we started doing that, because it will take some time and it may not be the right time today. But I want to emphasize on one point. This point is a very important point. It's a point of why we're here and standing for our responsibilities. A lot of us feel that we're just a part of the caravan or a part of a train, right? A part of the train. There are some leaders here and there, some scholars and some imams, and we're just kind of following along. And, you know, we live, we die, whatever the case may be. We don't see ourselves as playing an important role in the society where we act. Often, we don't see ourselves as really important individuals in society where we live. I am here to emphasize, tonight again, the point is to emphasize about our important role in the place where we live and the time that we live right now. Us Muslims, me, you, all the Muslims living in America and in the Western world, we are making history right now. How are we making history? In our lifetime, this place where you're praying right now, was it a masjid 20 years ago, 30 years ago? Was it?
No.
It was not a masjid. MCCT, was it a masjid 20 years ago?
No.
ICT, 50 years ago? Right? None of these, there was no masjid at all. So in our lifetime, I'm just talking about Tucson right here. In our lifetime, we started seeing the establishments of our masajids, our schools, community centers, places where we feel comfortable, we connect, places where we have our brothers and sisters to communicate, to connect with. So now, this is called history. This is called establishment. This is called you're making a history. So yes, you as an individual, you have a very important place in history and the place where you're living. Whether we consider it as important or not, we may say like, I don't care about all of that stuff, I'm just working and doing my thing. What is he talking about? You can say that. But the reality is that we are the ones making history in this country right now. So, the foundations, we're talking about foundations. And the concept of foundation is very important. We are laying the foundations. If you ask an architect, what is the most important part of a building? What is he going to say, or she? The foundations, right? Al-asas, the foundation. Usul, asl. In the disciplines, for example, in the Islamic studies, the Islamic disciplines, whether it is seerah, whether it is aqidah, tafsir, hadith, fiqh, all of these beautiful science that we have disciplines. Do we start studying the discipline itself, or do we study something else before we even get into that? We don't jump into fiqh right away, for example. We don't jump into tafsir right away without studying the usul first. And the usul is the foundation. What is this all about? If I have a very good understanding of what usul is, right? If I start, and this is one of the problems that we have with a lot of people. Like they take a book and, this is what it says right here. But they haven't studied the usul. They don't know how to navigate through what they're reading in the book. That's why they make mistakes. That's why they cannot be scholars. They cannot be people who are responsible or reliable for their knowledge. Why? Because they have no usul to begin with. So the asl, or the usul, the foundation, is very important even in knowledge. We study, instead of studying Sahih Bukhari, Sahih Muslim, first we go to usul al-hadith. What is this science all about? How do I navigate through? What are the tools in order for me to utilize as I go through the hadith? Right? So that's why it's very important. As we grow as a community as well, this is our foundation. If the foundation is strong, then the future is going to be strong as well. If the foundation of the Muslim community in America, in Tucson, right here at Imam Abu Hanifa Islamic Center, if it's going to be strong, then the rest of it later on, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will grant success. Will raise generations who are going to continue this. We are not here just to do our own thing and then just leave tomorrow and just go. We are here as community leaders, for example. We are here in order to raise generations after we go Right? 50 years later, many of us may not even be here. 100 years later, none of us is going to be here. Right? But what are we leaving behind? That's very important. And if you say that, I don't care, I just care about the time that I'm in right now, then you're not going according to the Islamic principles. I'm talking from the Islamic perspective here. I'm not talking about how individuals they feel like. From the Islamic perspective, we have to pay attention to the future, as we pay attention also to the present time. So this foundation has to be very strong. And the foundation will not be strong only with a good imam, without having a good support from the community, without having intellectuals, individuals who are going to roll up their sleeves and they're going to say, I'm here, how can I help you? Without having those donors who are going to say, you know what, how much is needed? How can we finish this project? Bismillah, here it is my generous contribution. Right? Or those people who can do construction, or those people who can teach. You know, I can teach, I can do this, I can do that. And the way how it is in this world is that without sacrifice, there's going to be no outcome. The concept of mujahada, for example, in the Quran, it's a very important concept. Mujahada is that struggle that we have to put in order to get the rewards. So without putting the efforts, without really being the right hand of the imam and the right hand of the board and the leaders in the community, it's very hard to really establish something that has strong foundations. So again, what I'm trying to tell you is, don't neglect your responsibility. Don't overlook at your vision and your principles. This is your principle right now. Yes, you work. Yes, you sleep. Yes, you have fun. Yes, you travel. Yes, you have good time with family. Yes, you go to a restaurant. You do all the good things. No problem. But at the same time, don't forget your responsibilities that you have towards the community, and don't forget the role that Allah has placed you in this time and at this place, at this particular place right now. Because you are history. You are history. You are building the foundations. If I don't get so much involved, then what? We are trying. I'm the first generation. Many of you are first generation right here. And I know Sheikh Wathiq, me establishing mosques in Phoenix and Mexico and other places, or helping with establishing mosques, and we know that we had to go through a lot of struggle, right? Sometimes we made mistakes. Sometimes we didn't know how to do this, how to do that. We had to experiment sometimes things in order for us to have success. We had to go through struggle. We had to find the right people. This works, this doesn't work. This is how we do this, how we do that. This is how we apply for this is how we apply for that. It's not easy. There's a lot of work, and there's a lot of mistakes too that we may make, or things that we just don't know. Now, if the next generation, if I don't care about what's going to happen in the future, and I don't teach, and I don't see myself, the importance of my role, right, as a generation, I'm talking about as a generation, if I don't see the importance of my role for the future generation, then what are they going to do next generation? What are they going to do? They're going to start again from scratch. They're going to start making the same mistakes, start finding a new place, start looking at this, how can we do this, why? Because I didn't care about them. Because I didn't understand my role. I didn't understand my position in this place and at the time. I just cared about myself, just to do the thing and end of the story. So that's what I'm saying. It's very critical. It's very critical that we think carefully about understanding first our role, standing for our responsibility, and thinking about the future. Why do we need to think about the future? We just don't want our children tomorrow to make the same mistakes, or to go through the same struggle that we're going. We're going through the same struggle, so they don't go through that later. They will have their own struggles. God knows what, they're going to be dealing with other struggles. But at least they don't have to repeat the same struggle that we're going through this time. So again, if we're careless, if we're not going to be considerate, and if we're just like, if we see ourselves that, you know what, my responsibility is just to come to the masjid, Allahu Akbar, Assalamu alaikum, Assalamu alaikum, everybody get out, don't get connected, don't get active in the community, don't support, don't struggle, we're not going to be able to achieve much in the future. So I pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us among those who are constantly putting efforts. I pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us among those who are rewarded for all the efforts that they put. And I pray to Him to make us among those who are successful, Ya Rab, in this world and in the hereafter, in the akhirah. And to raise among us generations who are going to serve Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the Sunnah of the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam, who are going to be from those who Nabi Ibrahim alayhi salam and Ismail, when they were building the Kaaba, they said, رَبَّنَا وَابْعَثْ فيهم رسولا منهم يتلو عليهم آياتك ويعلم الكتاب والحكمة ويزكيهم. So they're thinking about the future generations. Look at I don't want to go too much into, because there's a lot. But this is something very simple right here. The care. They were thinking about thousands of years before for Nabi alayhi salatu who was going to come thousands of years later. وَابْعَثْ مِنْهُمْ. I mean, this is the wisdom, this is the hikmah that we get from these individuals. Sayyidina Yaqub alayhi salam in his deathbed. أَمْ كُنْتُمْ شُهَدَاءَ إِذْ حَضَرَ يَعْقُوبَ الْمَوْتِ إِذْ قَالَ لِبَنِيهِ مَا تَعْبُدُونَ مِنْ بَعْدِي. So you see the care of Sayyidina Yaqub alayhi salam that he has for his own children. And not only his children, but grandchildren as well who were present there. The commentator, Mufassirun, they say it was not just, there were the others as well there that they were present. مَا تَعْبُدُونَ. What are you going to worship after me? He wants to make sure that they're on the safe and not just careless of what's going to happen in the future. So, again, I don't want to go into so many of these facts that are in the Quran and the Sunnah and all that, but I think the point is clear, and the point is very important for all of us to consider it. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless all of you and accept this prayer from you. Barakallahu feekum. Thank you for the generous donation as well towards that great cause, alhamdulillah, for Mexico. May Allah increase it, inshallah, as well. And the more you help, the better it is, inshallah, for all these communities. Allah yakram.
Jazakallah khair, Hassan.
Takbir.
Allahu Akbar.
جزاك الله خير إمام ديدمار. may Allah reward you. الإمام ديدمار يعني للأخوة الذين تكلم على صنع التاريخ. أنتم الآن تصنعون تاريخكم وتاريخ أجيالكم القادمة. كلكم راع وكلكم مسؤول عن رعيته. الإمام ديدمار قال إنه إحنا سنترك هذه الحياة، يعني بعد 25 سنة، بعد 100 سنة إحنا ما حنكون موجودين، لكن أولادنا وأحفادنا راح يكونون موجودين. فإحنا من الآن لازم نبني لهم هذا التاريخ نبني لهم إياه. قبل سنتين هذا المكان اسمه مسجد. الMCC قال قبل كذا سنة لم يكن مسجد، لكن أنتم صنعتم تاريخ دينكم. وهذه وصية سيدنا إبراهيم عليه السلام عندما قال وابعث فيهم رسولا منهم يتلو عليهم آياتك ويزكيهم ويعلمهم الكتاب وأيضا هي وصية سيدنا يعقوب عليه السلام عندما كان على فراش الموت وركز على أولاده وأحفاده على أن لا يعبدون إلا الله تعالى. إخواني، كلكم مسؤولون أمام الله سبحانه وتعالى. هذه فرصة لكم للدعوة، للعمل في الدعوة وتبنون الأساس. هذا هو الأساس الذي تكلم به إمام ديدمار. Again, thank you for your advice, Imam Didmar. By the way, Imam Didmar, mashallah, speak Arabic, Turkish, pocket of Spanish. Spanish, mashallah, and mashallah, English and Albanian. Mashallah. Jazakallah khair. We see a big light in our masjid this night. Thank you very much to your listening, and barakallahu fikum.